Hi Pisces, this is Yonjo from Truth is Change Tarot, and I'm here to do your March 2017 reading. Happy birthday. So let's get started with your... Oh, I just want to say thank you to all the people who've liked, shared, and subscribed to my channel. Thank you very much. So let's get started. So your overall message for March is perfection. So that's what that means here. Are you being too hard on yourself and consequently on others? Begin to look for what's right and good in your world, and you will see it. Where am I presently focusing? Knowing what's right and telling others about it might not be the best way of being. Key ideas are alienating others, feeling alienated, seeking perfection, deeply desiring love, transformation ahead. It also says, this card indicates protection and inner conflict between wanting to look good and having compassion for others. Remain kind and unattached to an outcome. Being right and letting others know that you are right may not support the understanding your desire. So your clarifying messages here are time and cycle. So what I'm getting from this card, let's see, or chime, is that it seems like you can see how other people that you care about, and may not care about, but I'm assuming people you care about, are doing it wrong. Doing it wrong in the sense of how you want to live your life. And you try to enlighten them and show them the path, but it's like that's their journey. They can't change. So with the time card here too, it's like I'm getting that you've given them a lot of space to make mistakes, to kind of do this while you're being like, hey, you should try this next time. And they just keep doing the same sort of cycle. They have a repetitive cycle of doing this, treating you this way. So it seems like this idea of perfection is almost like perfection is about self-protection, like it was saying. So yeah, the phrase is, I have the same high standards for myself as I have for others. So you have standards that you have expectations of how you want to treat other people, but not everybody else is going to live up to that. And you have high expectations because people assume they're high expectations because some people just can't act right, to be honest, to be real. So yeah, so a lot of this is just like, especially with this recent solar eclipse in your sign, Pisces, it's like this is a new chapter, and this cycle of kind of giving people this much space needs to end, so you're able to give yourself that space, give yourself that energy, give yourself that time, you know. And even if you're not there yet, it doesn't mean that you can't get there, you know. It's just, yeah, it doesn't mean you can't get there. All right, so let's go to the love part of the reading. So for the singles, we have the Chariot and King of Cups here. So with the Chariot and King of Cups. So it's like you're getting the motivation. Like it's like you're kind of tying up these loose ends, kind of, you know, distancing yourself from people who kind of drain you emotionally, who, you know, are not living up to your expectations and standards of how you need people to show up in your life. And that sort of self-discipline about who you engage with and who you spend your energy in is like kind of taking you forward to really live in your truth, to be this version of yourself, this King of Cups, this person who has a vision, who has purpose, who has meaning, who has also very similar, the self-discipline, emotional self-discipline to manifest and achieve what they want. Pull another card here. Yeah. Like I said earlier, in terms of like, this path isn't something you're doing by yourself. It's something you're building upon, and you're building with other people. But like I said earlier, you're allowed to have expectations. Some people are just not going to match that, and that's okay, you know? But the reality is that you're going to have to distance yourself from people who do not match that. And I know it's very difficult, but with the Three of Pentacles here, it's saying that in order for you to kind of sustain this energy, you're going to have to build a foundation upon it. You're going to have to work with other people to be able to do that. People who match your frequency, your vibration, whatever it's called. But people are willing to do that. Yeah. With the Ace of Swords here, it's like you're cutting away people who, you're already in the process of cutting away people who do not live up to that, and that's really important. Yeah. So you're able to have these boundaries around people who are not very clear about their own boundaries as well, and then people who are just not clear at all about what they want is what I'm getting to. And you're just gonna put boundaries around that, like, it is not, and that doesn't always mean completely cutting people out, but it can mean just having a different relationship with them and being okay with that. Like, oh, this is the person I used to call up all the time when I was having issues, but then when I call, but all those times it just ended up being about them. So I'm not gonna really call them about those issues anymore. Those kind of things. It's just having a different way of doing that. And it's like building you, it's like allowing you, when you meet other people, and I said just in your lunar eclipse or solar eclipse reading, is allow you to have this sort of discernment when you're able to like know who to let in and who doesn't belong around you. So yeah. So with the couples here, you have the Eight of Wands in reverse and the King of Wands in reverse. So there's definitely a lack of communication happening around issues in terms of passion, maybe sexual passion or just creative passions for y'all. And it's making energy go everywhere because these are two Wands cards. So it seems like it might not be your energy, it might be the other person's energy unless you have fire in your chart. I mean, it could go either way. It's a general reading. But regardless, there's a lack of communication happening. There's a delays happening. Let's get more information here. Okay, I have a lot of pentacles. So you have the Hermit in reverse and then the Pentacles in reverse. Two Pentacles in reverse. So it seems like you've done a little bit of introspection, but you're not really sure what to do with that information. Like the Two of Pentacles reverse is like kind of, you're trying to juggle a lot of things, but you're dropping them all. So it's just like, oh, I had that piece of information. And then you kind of just like, they're kind of like what I'm seeing is like little red flags that are happening. And you see the red flags, you don't really know what to do with it, so you kind of drop it. And this energy possibly is someone who's very controlling, very demanding, very nitpicking. I mean, it's a fire energy. So fire energy is Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. And their shadow side can be very, very intense. And they can be intense in the sense that everything is a little bit dramatic and everything is a little bit chaotic. And maybe this is the information you're not really sure how to deal with, so you're not really communicating what your kind of frustrations are. So here, Hierophant in reverse. What I'm getting is like you're not going to get married. I don't know who that's for, but with the reverse, you're not going to get married. Not everybody's interested in getting married. So I guess what I'm saying is that for some people, this energy, this Hierophant reverse is speaking to a lack of commitment. Like these flags are talking about a lack of commitment. This is very specific. Yeah, Three of Wands in reverse has to do with kind of waiting for your ships to come in, but they just never show up. Or they show up and they're like full of shit. Things that do not actually work for you. So this is sort of the situation that's happening for couples. Like I said earlier, what the overall message is talking about, kind of giving people chances, all this space, but it's taking away from you, but also having people these expectations that you live up to, but necessarily is not necessarily lived up to by other people around you. You're getting the information, you're not really sure what to do with it, which makes complete sense. Sometimes you just get the information and you want to give people the benefit of the doubt. or you just want to like see how it plays out. Either way, the information that's being sent, the cards are saying that these red flags are something that is a reflection of the person's lack of commitment, not just in terms of a relationship, but in terms of a commitment to your growth as a person. So, yeah. All right. For the work passion and community aspect. Okay. So you have the Hermit here, the Eight of Swords, and then the Two of Swords reverse. So the Hermit comes up again. It just seems like there's a lot of feeling stuck, especially with the Eight of Swords here. Feeling very stuck. There's a lot of eights here too, or at least there's just that one eight. Another eight. Eights have to do with patterns and habits that show up in your life. So there's this kind of repetitive thoughts, you know. It's like I said earlier, it just seems to be that you're getting a lot of messages about different things. But in terms of work and passion, you're getting messages and you kind of feel a little bit overwhelmed by them. You kind of feel trapped by them for some reason. Which is interesting because the Hermit is an energy that's a very like, oops. Oh my gosh. The Hermit is an energy that's very much about just introspection, like kind of digging to find the truth. And it seems like you found the truth about a situation, your work situation, a community situation, some sort of dynamic. And it's kind of scaring the shit out of you. Like, oh, and you have to make a decision around it. You have to make some sort of decision around it. Let's get some more clarity, y'all. Strength reversed. Daughter of Pentacles. So there's an opportunity that's presenting itself. Maybe that's what's kind of making you a little bit frightened. Because with the two of Swords, like I said earlier, it's a decision that needs to be made. And maybe you just don't feel that confident in your ability to make it work. You know, that's probably what's kind of overwhelming you. In the last card. Mother of Wands. Yeah, so there's a decision that needs to be made. And you don't feel really confident about it. So you're kind of feeling really worried. But this is going to allow you to manifest or create a situation that really will grow into something larger. And with the Mother of Wands energy, it's really asking you to trust yourself, because with the Mother of Wands fire energy, talking about this person who's very intuitive, very confident, very driven, motivated, passionate, kind of like gives no fucks kind of person who just really is going for their goals. And that's the energy in terms of work, passion, community that this March is gonna, yeah. That's the energy that's presenting itself in March. Is just really living in this energy, this Queen of Wands energy. Even though it kind of feels a little bit foreign to you, it's like embodying this in a way that really feels, in a way that makes sense to you. Oh my gosh, this is bothering me so much. Y'all are gonna have to there we go. In a way that really makes sense to you. All right, let's get to your spirituality, higher purpose. So you have the Emperor, the Chariot again, and the High Priestess. So with the Emperor here as your challenge, it seems like it's really asking you to take control over a situation. Take control. Create the structures that need to happen. It's very difficult for you, because a lot of times with Pisces, y'all, I'm not gonna say y'all are followers, but you are just kind of go with the flow kind of people. You know, like, yeah, I'm down to do that. Yeah, totally, let's go. Like, just go with the flow people. But this energy is asking you to be the one in leadership. So you're able to have, like I said earlier, you have the self-discipline necessary. You have the emotional self-discipline necessary to move you forward. It's just a matter of trusting yourself. Living in this Emperor Emperor energy in a way, like I said earlier. There's a lot of fire energy that's presenting itself. I mean, look with this energy here, fire energy. So this fire energy, probably because you're going to be spilling into Aries season as well, is just saying you have the ability to live in this energy, even if it doesn't seem like right for you. You can shape it in a way that makes sense for you. So if it feels kind of like, oh, I don't want to be someone who's in charge, leadership, those people are bossy. You don't have to be a bossy leader. You don't have to be a bossy person. You can just be someone who is inspiring and creative, so people choose, you know, you're not forcing people to do anything. People choose to follow you and respect you in that way. You have the discipline to be able to, you know, communicate what you want to happen without doing ways that are really like messed up. And as a result, you are going to really trust yourself and your intuition with the High Priestess here. I mean, this is your energy. It's connected to the moon. It's kind of, and you're connected to the moon. It's just talking about, this is going to allow you to have more faith in the little signs that happen, and little, like, you know, moments of insight that you get. You're going to be able to trust them a lot more, you know, when these opportunities of leadership present itself. So yeah, so your overall advice is, my dreams reveal that magic is real and anything is possible. And then I allow stillness to heal and reveal. I allow stillness to heal and reveal. So you have these two messages. Probably, especially for y'all Pisces, dreams are just very much important, in the sense, like, you're just going to be dreaming a lot of things that are probably going to happen, or that inspire you, or that, you know, is probably part of these signs that are coming up, that allow you to have a little bit more insight into the way other people think. Either way, you're just gonna be like, oh, wow, I had a dream about that. Even if you don't remember your dream, and you just know it's like connected to your dream, that could happen. And allow stillness to heal and reveal is, you know, like, I think it's just saying, I'm gonna say what it's saying. Allow stillness to heal and reveal. There's some things you can't control. Like I said earlier, there's some, especially around people, you can't control people, how they show up in the world, how they want to be, what they want, you know, and just kind of letting that go and allowing people to kind of reveal their true colors. It'll allow you to feel a little bit less responsible for them, in a sense, and that will lead to you healing yourself in a way of like, I don't always have to hold on to that, because this person showed who they really are. They were not deserving of my kindness. You know, that's the things that are going to reveal itself once you kind of release and let go. You know, follow your intuition. Follow what your dreams are telling you. So, yeah, so that's your reading. If you like a personal reading from me, go to my website, truthexchange.tumblr.com. It's in the link below. And, yeah, my Instagram has full moon and new moon readings every month. And, yeah. Thanks for watching. Blessings.